Shabbat Shalom once again. Like many of you, I celebrated Thanksgiving yesterday with dear family and friends. And as we gathered around tables overflowing with food and drink and conversation, the resounding feeling in the room was simply, we're so grateful to be together. And as trite as it sounds, it was true. We were so grateful just to be together in tender and loving proximity. So grateful to look across the table and see the faces of our loved ones looking back at us. And so grateful to know that each and every person in the house was safe and sheltered and warm. We know not everyone is so fortunate. The truth is, it's easy to take all of this for granted, to think this is how life will always be, and this is how life will always look, and this is how life will always feel. Sometimes we're lucky, and for a while the landscape doesn't shift too much. But there always comes a time when it does. For we who have lived know all too well that what is here today may not be here tomorrow, and what is true in this moment may not be true in the next. Count each day, we are reminded in our Psalms, because every day is a gift, and life carries with it no guarantees. There is so much we don't know, so much we can't account for, so much we can't ever begin to anticipate or foresee. October 7th is but our latest reminder, and an exceedingly painful one at that. For the world we inhabited on October 6th was a very different world than the one we inhabit today. The ground had not yet shifted beneath our feet. The earth had not yet ruptured, and the soil had not yet curdled with the blood of untold innocents. On October 6th, here at Emanu-El, we had invited our dear Israeli colleague, Rabbi Dr. Dalia Marks, to speak from our bima. It was Erev Simchat Torah, and Rabbi Marks spoke so movingly about the prevailing message of peace within our Torah. Drachecha darchei noam v'chol netivotecha shalom, she said. The Torah's ways are pleasant ways, and all her paths are peaceful. Again and again, Rabbi Marks came back to this refrain, underscoring that we are a people who cherish goodness and justice, and we are a people who cultivate and cling to peace. Rabbi Marks also spoke quite hauntingly about the anniversary of the Yom Kippur War and the times when Israel had known existential danger. And as she spoke, it felt like those times were far away and remote. Little did we know what the next day would bring, or how her words of peace and war would resonate in our hearts with both sadness and irony. On October 6th, Rachel Goldberg and John Polin, the parents of hostage Hirsch Goldberg Polin, hosted a Shabbat dinner. These two courageous souls have become the de facto American spokespersons of the hostage crisis in Israel. They are tireless, they are tenacious, and they are absolutely determined to get their son back. But before October 7th, they were simply two Israeli-American parents enjoying a festive Shabbat and exulting in their beautiful family and community. As reported by journalist Franklin Foer, on the night of Friday, October 6th, John Polin and Rachel Goldberg laid their hands on the head of their 23-year-old son, Hirsch, so that they could bless him, a ritual of Shabbat. They recited in Hebrew, "May you feel God's presence within you always, and may you find peace." It was an exquisitely temperate Jerusalem evening, and the Goldberg-Polin family made the most of it, dining al fresco at a long table of friends. Hirsch's presence was an unexpected blessing. He had only recently returned from several months of traveling across Europe by himself. Earlier in the week, Hirsch had told his mother that he would be away for the weekend, attending a music festival in the north. But that festival's organizers had neglected to obtain the proper permits, and that event had ended prematurely. At 11 p.m., Hirsch told his mother he was leaving to meet up with his friend Honor Shapira. He didn't go into detail about the plans, but he was wearing his backpack, and now we know he would ultimately make his way to the Supernova Music Festival. He kissed his mother, and then left her to sip her tea and pick at the remnants of her plate of desserts to savor the respite of Shabbat. And that's the last time we saw him, Rachel says. October 6th. On October 6th, the Supernova Music Festival held near Kibbutz Re'im began at 10 p.m., hours after the Sukkot holiday had ended and as Simchat Torah had begun. More than 3,000 people descended on this breathtaking space in the south of Israel, coming together for what was billed as a journey of unity and love. As reported in Rolling Stone, the gathering promised to be the highlight of the year, especially for those who loved psychedelic trance music. The music is based on a philosophy of life, says veteran British DJ Martin Freeland. It's Woodstock with electronic music. It's that kind of mentality, a hippie culture, but the music is different. These are the sweetest people. They would never harm anybody. The festival, said bartender Sophia Nidikin, was like magic. On October 6th, the masses of young people at Supernova, this beautiful place full of magic and wonder, were dancing for peace and unity and love. And on October 6th, as people danced and gathered and preached peace, there was a ceasefire in place between Israel and Hamas. One day later, that ceasefire was shattered with the deadliest and most heinous attack on Jews since the Holocaust. One day can change everything. One day can turn the world upside down. One day can cause a nation and an entire people to question who they were, who they are, and who they will become. On October 6th, our worldview didn't include a gruesome massacre on innocent civilians in Israel. On October 6th, Israel's population was greater by more than 1,200 souls. On October 6th, Kibbutz Be'eri and Kibbutz Nahal Oz and Kibbutz Kfar Aza were buzzing with life and activity and Shabbos joy. But life, as we know, can shift irrevocably in an instant. We see this lesson played out in our Torah as we open the scroll to find our patriarch Jacob on the run. After stealing his brother's blessing, he was encouraged by his mother Rebekah to flee his home. Young, inexperienced, and afraid, he lays down for the night, and we read, he has a dream. A ladder was set on the ground, and its top reached to the sky, and messengers of God were going up and down on it. One of the questions most commonly asked of this passage is, why are the messengers going up and down the ladder? What is this ladder anyway? And what of this constant motion? Reading this today in the context of an unwanted, unforeseen war, we are reminded of life's wild vacillations and vicissitudes. As quickly as we go up, we may find ourselves going right back down ad infinitum. Such is the unpredictable, often incomprehensible path of our lives. And such was the path of Jacob's life. One moment he was home with family and the loving presence of his mother, and the next he was all alone in the wilderness. Life is inexorably a series of ascents and descents, of upward journeys and downward spirals, but the route is only known to God. There is no roadmap telling us when we will go up or when we will come down. No printout mandating we take heed of the precipitous and dangerous drops ahead. And sadly, we can never know when a day like October 6th, ostensibly a day which was as beautiful as it was peaceful for so many, we never know when a day like that will be followed by something as horrific and devastating as October 7th. The ladder of our lives is so achingly and frustratingly unpredictable. And so, what can we do? How can we live in this face of uncertainty, an uncertainty which governs our lives so dispassionately? Our tradition encourages us to lean heavily into gratitude by savoring what we have and who we are with in the moment, knowing these gifts could vanish the very next hour or day or week or month. So too do we cultivate gratitude by relishing the love that flows between us and the people around us, by cherishing the beauty and wonder of our surroundings, and by refusing to take anything or anyone for granted. Yes, we are a people urged to see life through a lens of granular gratitude, reminding us it is not just the grandiose things for which we should offer thanks, but the little things too. Perhaps this is why our tradition urges us to say 100 blessings a day, to keep our focus narrow and precise and unerringly specific. As Rabbi Lawrence Kushner teaches, allow the most trivial sensations to become gifts. The smell of your children's hair, the sound of the dog barking, your partner's kiss, the morning coffee. Each is too precious to let go of. And so in this season of gratitude set against this season of war and so much unpredictability and change, let us hold tight to the blessings in our midst. Let us embrace and laugh and rejoice with urgency and passion. Let us look our children, parents, spouses, siblings, and dear friends in the eye and tell them we love them and appreciate them more than they will ever know. Let us say the important things to the important people. For if we don't do these things now, we might not get the chance. The vagaries of life don't wait for us, so let us not wait for them. May gratitude guide us through this storm and beyond. Ken Yehi Ratzon. Amen.